Game?
Nervous. I think we've got a lot of injuries at the moment. I think the team seems to be starting to gel, but we've gone through sort of patches of not gelling so well. So I think our league position should help us win against Hull today, but I think it'll be a tough one.
Yeah, I think with a win we can go 7th, 8th.
Yeah.
With a loss we can go 14th, 15th. So it's pretty tight.
Yeah, it's a tight league.
Saying that, Preston and Derby to go by.
Yeah.
Not too confident, but at the same time, it's Norwich. We could win 4-0, we could lose 4-0, we'll see.
Yeah, do you think those last couple of games showed signs that could maybe turn out to be long-term problems, or do you think maybe it was just a couple of off days?
I think it's still work in progress.
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of chopping and changing this season. I don't think there's been a consistent match day squad for a long time now.
Yeah.
I think it will be a case of a couple of players starting to gel together, and then maybe it all starts to click into place. But at the moment, we're going through a bit of a spell of difficult games and results that maybe haven't gone the way we'd like or deserved, really.
Yeah, Sargent's coming back, so we'll see what he does as well.
Yeah. You mentioned those injuries. I mean, how big of a problem have they become? It's been pretty constant throughout the season, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think losing Kenny is a big miss.
Yeah.
Screening the back line, I think losing Nunes is also a big miss. His distribution is great, so losing him. Having Boyer, who's not that match fit at the moment, is another big miss. So it could be a difficult one with those guys.
I think, the core of the team, Nunes, McLean, Sargent, there's always been one or two out. So it'll be interesting to see if when we do get fully fit, the full starting 11 that's strong. But that being said, Jurasek looked pretty good for the last 2 minutes he came on. Schwartau stepped up. So we'll
Sinat's hit a bit of form. Could happen today, hopefully.
Yeah. Can I have a couple of score predictions?
we talked about on the way here.
Yeah, I think I'm a hesitant 1-1. I think we'll try and impress on the game, and I think we'll score first. But maybe we haven't got quite enough at the moment to get us over the line, especially away.
I'm going 3-1. Heavily optimist.
Yeah, let's hope you're right.
I'd like to say confident, but you feel like we should win. But the past 2 games have been really poor.
Yeah,
really, really poor. We've got players coming back in, and then we keep losing players, so it's a little bit of a mixed match. I'd like to think we've got enough to beat them, but I could see us losing like 2-0 today. So
you mentioned the last 2 games. Are those concerns ones that you think could be sort of long-term ones, or is there any chance it was just bad days at the office?
Yeah, I think we've really struggled when we haven't got Kenny McLean. He's such an underrated player for us. I think losing him in the Preston game, I don't think we were awful against Derby. I think it's one of those games where we really should have put it to bed, and then they get a penalty, and then in the last minute it's obviously a stupid decision from Stacey. But I think you can obviously see that they're working on something, and when it works, it really works. But you can see that when they're missing kind of pivotal players like McLean, and they haven't got a direct replacement to come in, you can see that they struggle. So I'd like to think that they'll find a way around it. But you can see if they haven't got their full selection of players, then it could be more of a long-term thing until we get players coming back in. So
I suppose the inconsistency is a bit of a sign of the fact that it is an improving team and a team in transition.
Yeah. So it's also a very young team as well. Yeah. So that's exciting because you see players like Jurasek. I thought had a really good kind of introduction at Canaries. So you'd like to think that players like that will come in and make a difference, but it's about obviously managing their minutes and getting them on when it's best for them. But it's an exciting team, and when we play well, you see that because we win by 5 goals at home, or we're scoring 6. So I think it all just depends on having players like McLean and Duffy. Although Duffy's so incident prone, like when you've got those kind of core players in the middle, you can see that the young players are brought into the game more. But you can see that midfield was so young with Wright in last week that they struggled to kind of play and get a bit of a rhythm going. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, with all those things in mind, do you feel like it's imperative to get into the playoffs this season, or are you willing to give them time?
I think it's worth pushing for, and you'd be stupid to say that it shouldn't be an aim. But I think you can see this season that if Norwich can really kind of work on making sure that they're putting in, when they're not performing at their best, they're still picking up points. You can see that next season playoffs really should be kind of imperative to what we're doing. But I think this season, if we fall short, we fall short, and I think it's been so exciting watching them, even when they're losing. You have games where they're terrible, that you like to think that they'll be able to turn it around next year, and you can see the progress when they bring in more players, hopefully in the summer, that they'll have more of a system. If a player falls out, they've got a direct replacement to come in. So I think that they should be aiming for it, but I wouldn't personally mind too much if they fall short. I think you can see with Thorpe that they're developing towards something, and I think that's exciting in itself. So
can I have a score prediction for today's game?
much.
I'm not sure what to expect after the last 2 games. So,
Yeah.
It's going to go either way, 50-50. They've been on good form at home.
Yeah.
We need his point to get playoffs, so I think it's going to be a very close game. I can see goals to be honest today, definitely.
Yeah, you mentioned those last 2 games. How much of a concern were the performances in those?
I think attacking wise, we're absolutely fine. I think obviously Sargent being back has been a massive boost for us. Defensively, I'm a bit worried still. It's like I say, it could go either way, but defensively we've got to improve. I think most Norwich fans would agree with me that attacking, like brilliant. Defensively, it's not been best. That's why we've lost so many games recently. So
I thought it was nice to have a full squad until and then sort of back to square one. So things and that. So again, this season's just like a season of transition to go from there and just see what happens. I mean, get the playoffs as a bonus.
Yeah, do you think the playoffs are still attainable? Obviously, they've dropped points.
You win 2 games, you're up there, lose 2 games, and you're that's the championship for you. So
I agree, definitely. Get a good form because the remaining fixtures we've got left are winnable.
Yeah.
So get a couple of games going, that could really boost us to get into the playoffs. But like you say, it's teams around us. It's going to be a tough battle to get those points as well. So like today, for example, you just need a lucky point or even better 3 points. So definitely.
Can I have a couple of score predictions?
I'm on 1-1. I am.
Yeah.
I said 2-1 Norwich to start a couple of my mates, but that's what my heart says. But my head say 2-2. So definitely. I think hopefully a win for us.
Yeah, let's hope your heart's right.
Just to know what you get. That's the thing.
Of course.
It was alright. We could have got some more goals.
Yeah.
But I say we did alright.
Yeah. So you were pretty pleased with the performance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have got a penalty, but up to ref.
Yeah. It's quite a lot better in the second half than the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there any players out there who especially impressed you?
I don't know. I think we all did a good job.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, are you hopeful that Norwich can get into the playoffs this season, or is that a bit too ambitious?
I reckon we could.
Yeah, it was good. It was good second half, particularly. We had so many chances. First half was a bit ropey, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And of course they got the goal, which they didn't deserve.
Yeah. So did you think maybe Norwich deserved to win that game?
I think absolutely, especially on the second half. I mean, we were all over them, and Hull looked exhausted when they started making the subs. They looked absolutely on their feet. If we just kept moving the ball a little bit faster, I thought Sorensen was great in midfield today. Played really well. I think we're really close, and the frustrating thing is we've got to wait until it really gels, and then we will be amazing.
Yeah. In that sense, is it quite, given the performance, obviously you're quite happy with it, is it disappointing to drop points then against a team that's sort of
third from bottom? I mean, you should be picking up those 3 points. The first 10 minutes they had some massive opportunities, but other than that they didn't really offer a lot. But then we didn't until the second half. So we should have got the 3 points. Definitely, it would have been nice.
Yeah. You mentioned Sorensen, how good he was. Would you like to see him in the team on a more regular basis? Obviously he's got those injury issues, but
I think because of the other injuries you've got to put him in there, and he has been quite steady in that sort of 6 role where he kind of just sits there, and to be fair to Jacob Wright was doing a similar job, I thought they both played well in there. I thought Slimani's struggled a little bit today for some reason. Every time he got the ball he seemed to have his hands out. He didn't feel like people were making the right moves for him. I just thought if he had been a bit more assertive like we have with Kenny when Kenny's in the team, we'd have more of an opportunity today.
And how do you feel about the season overall? Do you see the qualities to get into the playoffs, or is that a bit ambitious?
I think there's definitely a chance. We've got how many games left? Is it now 13 to go?
Yeah, something like that.
It's loads of points. Loads of points. We can easily get in the playoffs. They've just got to be a little bit more assertive and play the way they did in the second half in both halves, and then we've got a massive opportunity.
Yeah, you mentioned before camera that you've had quite a long journey to get here.
Yeah, so this is Angus's first away game. We live on a tiny little island off the west coast of Scotland called the Isle of Bute, so it was a 10-hour journey to get to our hotel last night.
Wow.
So we'll have a nice night with the family tonight who've come up from Norwich, and then we'll head back tomorrow, won't we?
Is it worth it? Yeah. Nice one.